All right, what's good, YouTube? Bryson here. Happy Monday. Let me get my Facebook set up real quick. My Facebook Live. Alrighty. So here we go. Okay. So it's good, everybody. Happy Monday. All of that good shit. I am here with you all live on Facebook and live on YouTube as well. And so I hope everybody had a good weekend or whatnot. Mine was kind of was a lot of shit going on. I'll just say that much. And so I couldn't resist because I get cotton mouth sometimes when I talk, especially if I didn't hit the sweet grass before coming live. But I have to. This is what. So I'm not chewing on it, but the Lord knows, y'all. Any way that I say this is gonna sound sexual, but y'all know I'm a pervert. In light, though, not a real pervert. But y'all know that I'm a sexual being. But this is what I have in my mouth right now. I don't even want to go as far as saying this is what I'm sucking on right now because y'all got some filthy minds, just like I do. But it's okay. That's the way God made us. Some of us. Because some of us are prudes when it comes to that. And that ain't me. I ain't never been no prude when it came to sexuality. But anyway. So today, since I've gone through my zodiac readings for the month of April, today I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with my spiritual awakening. Oh, yes, they are, mommy. Oh, my God. I got the caramel filled ones and the regular hard candy. I'm fucking both them bags up. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about my spiritual awakening and my experience with it. I'll also open the floor back up for my free sample readings to real-time live viewers. So bitches, don't be coming on this post after the video has been posted talking about you want a free sample reading. No, you have to actually be here real time watching the video to take advantage of that offer, okay? Love you anywho. So for those of you all who are not familiar with my free sample readings, you get 3 card minimum, max, excuse me. So you get a 3 card spread. You get to choose between a soul reading using my soul deck, a love reading using my love deck, and then messages from beyond. In most cases, passed on loved ones, ancestors. If you resonate with any particular group, empaths, light workers, starseeds, all of that, I use this deck to divine those messages, okay? So throughout this video, I don't plan on being before you all long, but throughout this video, again, you all have access to free sample readings. So if you want a free sample reading, comment in the comment section below on Facebook. I'm not sure about this YouTube shit yet, but just let me know that you want your free sample reading. I'll do it right here, right now, or whatever requested. And be sure to specify what kind of reading you want, whether it's a soul reading, a love reading, or messages from beyond, okay? So if you feel like that you want to take advantage of that, go ahead, comment in the comment section with those details. And again, well, I didn't mention it before, but if you had a free sample reading before, don't request one again. It's only one free sample, all right? So, Also, I am doing a special on my spreads. $30. It'll give you a total of 12 cards. So you'll get two spreads. You can choose soul and love, love and beyond messages, soul and beyond, whichever two you want to choose. But you'll get a total of 12 cards within a spread, 6 cards per deck. And I'll go ahead and do your reading for $30, payable to Cash App, $ Bryce Bryson. All right. Uh, Alrighty, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming in and fucking with me on this good Monday morning. And so, my spiritual awakening, because I know a lot of you all who know me personally have seen some, I don't want to say what they are major changes, but certain differences in how I am now. One of those, okay, mommy, just let me know which one you want, uh, and then I'll get to it for you. But you all can tell that I am definitely a lot more spiritual these days. I've always been spiritual to a certain extent, even when I was practicing religion. Okay, and I don't do that shit no more. I do not fuck with religion. No disrespect to those of you who do. It's not my bag anymore. But let's see. I would say I have been going through a spiritual awakening for 2 years at least, maybe 2 plus years. Um, I didn't come to the self realization that I was actually in the midst of a spiritual awakening till about maybe 6 months ago. And that kind of occurred, well, the realization of that kind of occurred. I had took some days off from work because I was just feeling drained, and I just needed, time to myself to kind of regroup. And the day that I planned to go back to work, I woke up, got out of bed, getting ready to do my little routine and all of that good shit. And then I just broke down crying, like sobbing. Like y'all would have been like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was crying so hard because it hit me like I can't do this anymore. I have a pretty solid work history, a good resume or whatever. Again, those of you who know me know I bitch got to work. I got to make my own money. I can't be dependent on nobody. I'm a Leo. My sun sign is Leo. Of course, we can't be dependent on anybody else. We gotta make shit happen ourselves. Um, but it was at that moment I decided, yo, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Contacted my boss, went into the office, turned in my keys to the office. I was an account manager for a cash business, and turned in everything. It was no hard feelings between me and my boss. He was the CEO, and I just knew it was something more for me out there, something better. And so I did that September 12th. So Spirit's like, you're gonna start your own business, photography business. That's one of my passions. And I started working toward that avenue. While I'm doing that, I'm watching resources on YouTube. This one particular one, if I can think of, Victor Otto. He was the catalyst for me realizing that I was in the midst of a spiritual awakening. It came about in such ways because I had been asking myself questions like, how can this make sense? Like, I was telling a friend the other day, like this whole homosexuality thing. Religion will have us believe that our loving God, who created everyone in his like image, created me and my fellow LGBTQ whatever else alphabet after that, I don't know. You would have us believe that the God of love, again, created us all in his image, created us to love the same sex, but then stipulate it's an abomination. So, one, you're telling me that God created us to be an abomination intentionally. So, this God of love that you all serve in religion created me to love another man, but then turn around and say, that's a sin, that's an abomination. You disgust me. You're going to hell, bitch. Well, damn, why would God create me just to live in torment? Okay, because you, God, and this is what religion will have us believe, you, God, created me like this. You created me to love another man, but turn around and say, mm, you can't do that. That's not my will. It's not his will, but he created me. Okay. So you can't pay me to believe that my God created me to love another man and then turn around and say you can't do that. It's unacceptable. So now you're gonna have to deny your true self your entire life. Either that or go to hell for acting on these feelings. So I would begin to ask myself those types of questions. And through this resource video, Victor Otto, his videos, he's awesome, by the way. The answers to the questions that I was asking myself started to come through in his videos. And I'm like, okay, this is odd, but not odd. Um, and then I started paying attention to the timestamps of the videos. So I'm like, okay, Lord. So all of these videos are kind of old, like months old, maybe some a year or two old. So I said again, internally to myself, I need something real time. I mean, yeah, these videos and messages are resonating for me, but I need something real time or close to current time to let me know that, hey, you're really onto something. Like it's something here. It's a message here. All right. So I did that, and mind you, during this whole time, I'm recovering from losing Papa. Those of you who know me know how profound of an effect his death had on me. He was my grandfather on my father's side. Um, we were very close uh, when he was living. So much so to the fact that I knew that as long as he was around, I would be okay because I could ask that man for anything and he'll do it for me. I never took advantage of him for that, but I knew that. I knew that he was, so to speak, my safety net. All right. So I was able to I deal with blows in my life with a certain amount of grace for that simple fact that I know at the end of the day I can call Papa. So we lost him to pancreatic cancer. I had helped with the hospice for a time. Um, so, getting him together, feeding him, changing, his diaper. I don't like saying diapers, but, changing his bedclothes and all of that stuff. And it was a very tough time for me. So I was dealing with grieving and trying to come back from that. I was, what's up, Bernard? I was dealing with being back in Chicago after spending 11 years in Atlanta. And then at my last year there, lost my job, then fell into homelessness. So, like a bitch, I always say legit homeless because people will say, oh, I'm homeless, but you're sleeping on somebody's couch or their spare room or something like that. I say legit homeless because I was out on the streets in Atlanta. like real talk. I had a real good friend, Mike. You know who you are. He stepped in and he helped for a little bit, as much as he could, because he had what, two or three other roommates or whatever. So he let me, or they allowed me to sleep on their couch for a short period of time. But of course, I wasn't going to take advantage of that either, because you got a apartment full of grown men. You know what I'm saying? And there I am on a couch. They got to wake up to me every morning coming out their rooms. Like, that wasn't a good look. But after that uh, extent of graciousness from my good friend, I spent time at the Greyhound station on Forsyth. I would sleep there, either there or the airport, sometimes a shelter. But oh, very, very, very rough time, very rough time. So I'm recuperating from all of that. So let me get back to the subject at hand. So I'm recuperating from all of that. Came back to Chicago, got a job as an account manager, like that. You know, was in my pop's his bachelor's crib, because him and my stepmom moved in and did their thing together. And I was with my stepbrothers. Such an irritating time frame, because they were suburban dudes trying to live the Chicago project street life or whatever. You're not really about that. You're trying to be, but you're not, bitch. I'm trying to tell you some things, because I know I'm a project baby. I was born and raised in a project. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in the streets like that, but my family members were. And I learned from them, from watching and being around. You know what I'm saying? It just growing up in the project. So anyway, back to Victor. So one day I'm watching Victor Otto video on YouTube. And as I'm thinking particular thoughts in my head, that video is responding to the exact same thoughts that I was thinking at that exact moment. And I said, hold on, bitch. Let me check the timestamp of this video. And the video was just put out, I think, the day before I was watching it, because I missed the notification. So I'm like, oh, bitch. I asked Spirit to give me something current so that I can know that, you know, this is the real deal. I'm onto something here. And again, shout out to my babe, Jonathan. I love you. I love you. I love you. I think you're in here. Can't say for sure, but if you are, thank you, babe, for always supporting me. I love you. I love you. So yeah, after I realized that the video is completely resonating with my inner thoughts, real time, it was just like something broke. A realization came over me, like, yo, this is something different and more profound than I have ever experienced in church. You know what I'm saying? And when I was in church, I loved praise and worship. Loved praise and worship. Y'all know I love music. You know, I do music or whatever. Maybe not actively today, but it's in my blood. It's a natural gift. But praise and worship would get me into such a zone. But this was more profound than that. When I tell you, I was in my apartment and I took off running from my kitchen through the living room to the front door, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That was the first time that I have ever had an authentic experience of catching the Holy Ghost, if you will. Because a reverence and a knowledge just poured over me. Like, dude, you know, Victor was talking about, you know, being empathic and, you know, what it is to be an empath in this spiritual world. And I'm like, dude, that was the moment I accepted, okay, bitch, you really are an empath. You really can pick up on other people's emotions not only just pick up on them, but channel them into myself. So much so that I would believe that they were my own emotions. And I took my ass to my bathroom. And this was the first time I was ever able to do this in 38 years of my life. I stood in the mirror and I looked my snot faced, teary eyed self eye to eye. And I was able to confirm verbally who I was and who I have always been, and that I was not crazy. The realization hit me too, bitch, you are not bipolar. All of those mood swings and shiftings and cycles and shit like that, although sometimes they were actually my emotions, they were most times the emotions of the bitches around me. Ergo, my gift is so natural, innate, and strong. I'm picking up on these bitches' emotions, I'm channeling them, and thinking that they're my own. So when I be cool, chill one moment, walk into a room, or people come into my general vicinity, and then my shit changes and shifts, because these bitches got a nasty attitude. These bitches angry, they upset, they bothered. And I'm feeling this shit. Baby, let me tell you, living 38 years in the dark, believing that you were something that you never were because you had a particular gift that you never really cultivated. And there was a part of me always throughout my life that felt like, you're an empath, you know, but the Matrix Society would condition us. That shit ain't real. Or religion, if you will have you believe. Either if it's not biblically related and acceptable, then it was witchcraft, it was devil worship. So I never really fully allowed myself to give into my empathy, to give into my intuition, follow my gut, because I've had experiences with this throughout my entire life. And my best friend, Yinka Francois, he is not on here. We have been best friends instantly since high school, CVS. So I was a junior and he was a senior when we met. We've been best friends ever since. He has seen and witnessed my gifts, my empathic gifts, my intuition throughout the years. And he always like, bitch, you don't never listen to yourself. You be getting these vibes and you don't never listen. I know, like it's so stupid. Why do I go against the grain? Why do I go against the grain? I was kind of conditioned to not believe. And I'm not going to say I was conditioned to not believe the things that I saw, heard, felt. I was conditioned to second guess myself, to second guess my core feelings. Um, I feel you on that, Bernard. And mommy, if you still in here, don't forget to give me the category that you want me to read for you for your sample reading. Um, so yeah, very profound moment. I'm telling y'all, I was so emotional. I was so fucking emotional. I was just snot faced. My face was so wet with tears and snot, but I felt so relieved because it was like, okay, this is who you are. You are who you felt you were since a child. It's not all in your head. You're not crazy. You don't suffer mental health illness. Maybe I do still suffer from a little PTSD because I was diagnosed that as well. So I was diagnosed bipolar, PTSD, borderline personality disorder. None of that. I might give a little credence to some PTSD because I've been through some shit. that has traumatically affected me. But since I've owned my power and who I am, it doesn't really affect me anymore. So I'm not even gonna claim PTSD anymore. So fuck that shit. Um, but yeah, that moment, it was like a light shone into my life because it's like, yo, I got power. I can do some shit. I can effectively and consciously change the direction of my life. I don't no longer have to live how I was living. My heart was filled with so much resentment, so much pain, so much anger. And some of y'all done seen my temper at work. Y'all know what's good. But at that moment, I let it all go. I let it all go. And I continued to dig into my resources, which happened to be YouTube. Yes, don't judge, don't hate, bitch. I also used Google to research certain phenomenons and things like that because after I accepted who I was, I started seeing synchronizations everywhere. And for those of you all who don't know what synchronization is, it's when you see a series of numbers 111, 222, 333, so forth, so forth. They each have a personal, individual message and reason for showing. But you have to your vibration and energy has to be elevated in order for you to even realize and resonate with synchronization. Because when that occurs and you're not elevated, you're not even gonna notice it. But that shit started just jumping out to me everywhere, everywhere. So I continue to learn and research and go to my resources and grow and evolve and all of that good shit. Now, during this time, so this is what, okay, so I left my job September 12th, 2019. So I'd say between then and maybe October, maybe early November, I'm still, dealing with the grief of Papa dying. And it was so profound to the extent before I quit my job, I would be at work or I could be anywhere. And a memory or anything would trigger me, and I would just fall into sobbing tears. And when I say sobbing tears, like the I can't breathe, crying, trying to catch your breath, and it was a mess. It was a mess. But I'll never forget. I was sitting on my couch in my living room, and I don't know what I was thinking about, but clear as day, I felt Papa's spirit like come into my living room and just wash over my entire body. And he let me know that he was here watching over me, that he was proud of me, and that he understood why I didn't go to his funeral because it was an intentional decision for me not to go to the funeral. I couldn't, he was the most significant person of my life that I've lost that has died. And mind you, I've lost a lot of people. What, maybe a year before his death, maybe a year and a half, my great granny died. She was 100 plus years old. She wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? A distant great grandmother. I have consistent memories of her and my great grandfather throughout my entire life as a kid. So she was very present in my life. She died. After she died, my Uncle Wade died. After Uncle Wade died, Uncle Mac died. Several of good friends close to my heart died within the same time period, and then he upped and dies. It's just like, what the fuck now? This one, I don't know how to take. I don't know how to handle. So when he came and visited me in my apartment in my living room, so profound again. I'm snot faced, tears just falling. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It just clicked for me. Like right then when he came to visit me, it was like my grief. I didn't have any grief anymore because I felt his presence 100%. I knew 100%, even though he is not on this earthly plane with us anymore, he's still with me, you know? So my grief was wiped out. And I just kept moving forward. That's one of the most important things about spirituality. As you learn, as you grow, forward movement, motion. Whatever you do, keep moving forward. You can look back to reflect, but don't move backwards. That's regression. And one of the biggest steps that I took since realizing my spiritual awakening was stepping out and trusting. When I quit my job without having another job lined up, that was huge for me. And that was the turning point in my life and how things were going to resonate for me and come to me. Because what's that adage they say? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's insanity. And also, in order to get something you never had, you have to do something that you've never done. So I did both those things within that one decision to quit my job, to follow my path, and to start my now businesses. Then it was just the one business I had in sight. Now I have three aspects of businesses and even more than that. Publications. I got some books, 7 novels at least, that I'm going to turn into movies. So, like, it's a whole movement. But I had to step out there. I had to step out there. Uh, let me shit, check here these comments. I'm going to take a pause there and make sure I didn't get any requests for sample readings. Hey, Marquise. Okay, so no sample reading requests so far. Okay, so before I continue, remember, I am doing free sample readings, okay? During this live video only. You cannot have had one done before. If you have, don't ask me for another one. It's tacky. We don't want to be tacky, right? The sample readings consist of a 3-card max spread. Your choice between a soul reading. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this alignment up with my two cameras. So again, that's a 3-card max spread with your choice of soul, love, or the beyond reading, which divines messages from your ancestors, passed on loved ones, and whatever. So you can do that. Just chime in the comment section. Let me know that you want to do a free sample reading and which category. Okay. Leave that in the comment section. Also, the special that I'm having on my spreads for $30, you basically get 2 spreads. All right. Which total 12 cards, 6 cards per deck. Okay, so you can choose from your soul and love reading. You can combine those, love and the beyond, soul and the beyond, however you want to do that. But that is also available to you all for $30. 2 spreads, 12 cards, 2 categories for $30. Cash App a bitch. $ Bryce Bryson. Once that monies is received, we can go ahead and move forward with your reading. All right. Okay. So, what else do I want to get into with this spiritual awakening? One of the things I want to say is just trust spirit. Not only trust spirit, trust yourself, your intuition, your gut instinct. You have to. That is so tremendously important when you're living a spiritual life. because the things of this world, this matrix society, is rarely what they have us believe that it is or what they show us it is. Spirituality is personal, okay? So I always advise people that I come across and that I talk to about spiritual awakenings is when you're on the precipice of that, ask yourself a bunch of questions. Ask yourself in spirit. Don't verbalize them. Don't tell anybody else about these questions that you have, because I say that because spirit is going to answer those very questions in the most unique, miraculous ways that will only be noticeable to you. Because again, spirituality is personal. It ain't got shit to do with you and no congregation. Y'all don't have to be on the one accord or where two or three are gathered in my name. I will be in the midst. I'm not knocking scripture or Christianity. However, at the same time, where that book is telling you where two or three are gathered in my name, you have all that power within yourself. You have the answers within yourself. That's spirituality. Okay? I'm only here doing this for people who are not yet at that point to where they can look inside themselves for the answers that they seek. And that's one of my jobs here to shine light, to pull down these light codes and help shift consciousness, which is actually happening right now during this whole corona no butt line bullshit. Excuse me, there is a real shifting taking place on this earthly plane. So as I recently learned, we're coming out of the Piscean, I hope I'm saying that correct, the Piscean age moving into the Aquarian age, the age of light. We're leaving the age of shadows, moving into the age of light. All right. So what else do I want to touch on with my spiritual? Oh, I'll save that one for the next session. It'll probably be tomorrow, maybe same topic. Um, but Dark Night of Soul. Oh, my Dark Night of Soul. My Dark Night of Soul. Mm. Shook me to my core. Shook me to my core because I had to deal with some things, some heavy shit that I was hiding from myself. I used to watch certain shows, like y'all know I still watch my soap opera General Hospital. But back in the day when all the soaps was on, I did All My Children, One Life to Live, and General Hospital in that order. Don't judge me, bitch. I got it from my mama. Okay? Ms. Bryson. But shows of that nature would show or depict storylines to where people will have these major revelations about their childhood and things that happened to them that was so traumatic that they blocked it from their mind. Ergo, living their entire life as if this very thing has never happened to them. And then the realization of it hits something in their mind breaks and the memories come flooding back or whatever. That was pretty much my Dark Night of Soul. That night I just happened to believe that I was actually dying. I thought I was physically dying. I was tripping the fuck out. But what it was is I was dying spiritually. As the truth and some hidden things from my past and things that was done to me came to light. Oh, bitch, that night was so heavy. Oh, that night was so heavy. I literally met two of my ancestors from my mom's side, Creole descent or whatever. But oh my God, creepy. Talk about creepy, baby. But I'm gonna save that for another my next video because that's a lengthy story. It's deep. I actually made a 3-part YouTube video on it. So y'all can actually check that out. Yeah, I don't feel led to speak that much further anymore. Just giving you all a general synopsis. But again, this will be an ongoing topic. This spiritual awakening, along with my empath and their narcissists. So I'll actually probably resume that subject tomorrow, then flip back to this one on Wednesday. On days that I am not doing readings for zodiacs or particular readings, those will be the days that I open up the free sample readings or whatever, and we'll just move from there. Okay. So I'm going to cut it short right now. It's Monday. The bitch is in chill mode still. I only really just got into chill mode yesterday, if y'all only knew. Baby. The shenanigans. But I want to thank everybody for dropping in. Oh, shit, I've been on for 41 minutes. Yeah. Time to wrap this. I'm not doing no readings. I forgot what the fuck I was just going to say. But anyway, thank you all for coming in, participating, sitting with me. Mommy, I'll hit you up about your sample reading because you didn't respond in the comment section. Bernard, some of my channels are my own. Okay, yeah, I feel you on that. Alrighty, so I love you all. I will be back on tomorrow, 12 noon. Same bat time, same bat channel, bitch. And then I'll be out of chill mode tomorrow so we can really get into some shit. All right. I'm always available for personal one-on-one readings. Check my website, Bryce Bryson Photo gr.wixsite wixsite.com/spiritual-readings. All right. So that'll be a deuces until tomorrow. If you want to do a one-on-one personal reading, hit me up on the website. Fill out that submission form as opposed to hitting me up on Facebook Messenger. That's not going to work if you want a reading because I get so much shit through my Facebook Messenger. I don't get to check all my messages in a timely fashion. So if you put something in there and you just sitting there waiting for me, it's gonna take some time to sift through some of the bullshit that I get through there. Okay. Love you guys. Till tomorrow.